Cardi B just flipped the entire narrative on her career, her business, and her mindset, and why fans are giving her major credit after she opened up about finally owning her masters and running 5 separate businesses, all while admitting that she almost gave up before Stefon Diggs stepped in and pushed her to keep going. This isn't about music charts or red carpets today. This is about money, ownership, and the behind-the-scenes grind that a lot of artists talk about but very few actually execute. The receipts on this one are coming straight from Cardi herself. In a recent conversation that's been circulating online, Cardi broke down how difficult it has been to do business in the industry, especially as a woman and especially as someone who came in without generational wealth or corporate backing. She made it clear that owning her masters didn't just magically happen. It came after years of frustration, setbacks, and moments where she questioned whether continuing was even worth it. And when fans heard her say that she now owns her masters and has 5 businesses under her belt, the response was immediate praise, because that's not no light work in an industry designed to keep artists dependent. Let's be real for a second. A lot of artists make hit records, but very few actually secure ownership. Cardi didn't just wake up one day and get handed her masters. She had to learn contracts, renegotiate leverage, and play the long game while still being one of the most visible female rappers in the world. The blind item reads like this: success on the outside, pressure on the inside. Fans forget that when the cameras turn off, there's still paperwork, lawyers, boardrooms, and decisions that can either set you up for life or trap you in a bad deal forever. Now here's where the Stefon Diggs part comes in, and this is what really got fans talking. Cardi admitted that there was a point where she was ready to walk away from certain business moves altogether because the process was exhausting. According to her, Stefon was the one who encouraged her to put work into something she was close to abandoning. Not in a flashy way, not in a save-the-day narrative, but in a very grounded, real-life way, reminding her that quitting would mean leaving long-term money and control on the table. It really makes you wonder how many artists stop right before the breakthrough moment because nobody is in their ear telling them to push through the boring, stressful parts. We see the glam, but we don't see the mental fatigue that comes with negotiating ownership while still performing at the highest level. Cardi basically said the business side almost broke her spirit, and that's a side of success people rarely talk about. Fans online immediately started connecting the dots, pointing out that Cardi's recent moves feel more calculated, more strategic, and less reactive than before. She's not just dropping music, she's building infrastructure. 5 businesses means diversification. It means she's not relying solely on rap checks, touring, or brand deals. That's legacy money behavior, not viral moment behavior. Now, before anybody gets in their feelings, let's be clear, this doesn't mean Cardi suddenly became successful because of a man. She already had the drive, the talent, and the platform, but encouragement matters, support matters. Sometimes all it takes is one person saying, "Don't quit yet," when you're mentally checked out, and that's why fans are applauding her honesty instead of tearing her down. Of course, there are always skeptics online saying relationships and business shouldn't mix, or questioning how much influence Stefon actually had. Some people are even speculating about power dynamics, but that's where allegedly comes into play, because none of that is confirmed, and Cardi herself framed it as encouragement, not control. The key point is that she made the final decisions and did the work. What's also interesting is how this moment reframes Cardi's public image. For years, critics tried to box her in as just a viral rapper or a personality. Owning her masters and running multiple businesses shuts that narrative down completely. You can dislike her music all you want, but financially and strategically, she's playing chess while a lot of people are still playing checkers. Let's also talk about how rare it is for artists to admit they almost gave up. Usually, celebrities pretend everything was always smooth. Cardi saying business is hard and draining actually humanized her even more to fans. It showed that success doesn't remove stress, it just changes the type of stress you deal with. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think encouragement from a partner can really change the direction of someone's career? Or do you believe artists have to reach these milestones completely on their own to make it count? And do you think owning masters should be the ultimate goal for every artist, even if it takes longer to get there? What really stands out in this second half is how fans are now using Cardi's situation as a measuring stick to critique the industry itself, especially when you line her up next to artists who had just as much momentum but walked away with very little ownership. People are bringing up examples left and right, artists who toured non-stop, dropped platinum records, stayed visible for a decade, and still don't control their catalogs. That comparison is why this moment is hitting harder than a regular boss move headline. It's forcing people to confront how rare it actually is to win on both the fame side and the paperwork side. Let's be real for a second. Owning your masters changes everything long term. That's not just about pride, that's leverage, licensing power, and generational income. Fans are pointing out that Cardi can now decide how her music is used in films, commercials, documentaries, and future platforms that don't even exist yet. That kind of control means she's no longer at the mercy of labels dictating timelines or monetization strategies. If this is true, it's very concerning for an industry that thrives on artists not fully understanding what they're signing away early in their careers. Another angle people are discussing is how Cardi's transparency is low-key exposing how lonely the business climb can be. She didn't frame this as a victory lap, she framed it as survival. That's resonating with creatives who feel burnt out, stuck in contracts, or overwhelmed by legal language designed to confuse them. The commentary online is less about celebrity worship and more about real-world lessons. People saying, if Cardi B struggled with this, imagine what regular artists are dealing with. There's also a noticeable shift in how fans are viewing Stefon Diggs in this narrative, not as a celebrity accessory, but as someone operating outside the music industry bubble. A lot of people are saying that having a partner who isn't embedded in label politics may have helped her see things differently, someone who looks at contracts from a purely logical, numbers-based standpoint, instead of emotional loyalty. That perspective can be uncomfortable, but sometimes discomfort is exactly what pushes growth. Now, not everyone is applauding. Some critics are questioning whether fans are romanticizing the situation too much. They're asking whether encouragement should be celebrated this loudly when artists still need legal teams, financial literacy, and systemic change to truly level the playing field. That's a fair critique. Motivation alone doesn't rewrite contracts, but motivation can be the spark that makes someone finally sit down with the lawyers and accountants they've been avoiding. What's undeniable is that Cardi owning her masters reframes every future move she makes. Albums become assets, not obligations. Breaks become strategic, not career risks. Even silence becomes powerful when you're not being penalized for it financially. That's a different type of freedom, and fans are clocking it immediately. They're already predicting that her next phase won't be about oversharing or overworking. It'll be about precision. This moment is also reigniting conversations about why labels still resist artist ownership so aggressively. People are revisiting old interviews, contracts, and lawsuits, saying, see, this is why they don't want artists educated. The blind item reads like an open secret. The more control an artist has, the less predictable and profitable they are for corporate structures built on dependency. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you see Cardi's situation as a rare exception, or do you think this signals a broader shift where artists are finally prioritizing ownership over speed and visibility? And do you think more artists would make these moves if they had stronger personal support systems behind the scenes?